Happy 4th of July and welcome to Ask MandR Productions episode 272, the series where I answer your questions. If you have a question for next week's episode, leave it down in the comments section below. It might just get chosen. Leave a like while you're there. And let's get into it with our first question from @MacAcoat. Macacat? He says, what do you think is the biggest problem with LEGO content creators nowadays? Drama! You want to talk about drama? Everyone's thumbnails are becoming one and the same, and it's not like a problem that like I have with people. I'm not trying to be overly dramatic about this. I'm just like observing what's happening and giving you my analysis here. So it appears to be that a guy like TD Bricks has come along and been very successful doing one particular thing with a very, specific style that's kind of like Mr. Beastie, but kind of not, obviously in his own way with LEGO, and very creative, and like shouldn't take away from that because you compare it to Mr. Beast, right? But a lot of other people have seen this and now, of course, want to do the same thing. And so I don't know. I don't watch a lot of these videos, so I don't know for sure that all of the videos are the same. But I'll tell you, I see the thumbnails, and the thumbnails for like 20 or 30 different channels at this point are more or less indistinguishable. Sure, there might be a small quirk between one or the other that you can tell that like Danny Bob's thumbnail is different from Claire's thumbnail. I'll pick on them because I know them. They will hopefully not be mad at me for that. But like, you get the idea. Like, it's just kind of, blocks of colors with a dash in the middle and maybe an arrow. And I've tried it too, to a not very successful tune. But the point is, a lot of people are doing the same thing. And I've kind of mentally rephrased the way you asked your question. You asked what the biggest problem with content creators in the LEGO space is. I think it's the biggest problem for content creators in the LEGO space. It said a lot of them are growing their channels doing one very specific thing that from the outside looking in doesn't look any different from any other person doing that specific thing with that specific thumbnail style. And so what I think could happen, and this is why I think it's a problem for content creators in the LEGO space, is that over time, you're not going to have any viewers that particularly know who's who within that space, because you have 25 different like thumbnails that look from different channels that look exactly the same, and you couldn't tell which thumbnails from which channel unless you obviously look at the channel name, which you can do, but still the thumbnails are otherwise indistinguishable and could be from any given channel on any given day. And so I think that could be a problem for the content creators. Otherwise, I mean, it's the LEGO space, so usually aren't that big of problems. But if anything kind of piques my interest, is something I kind of want to see what happens over the next few years. It's exactly that, and I want to know if these channels will have longevity, or if this kind of like TD Brick style video and everyone else doing that style video is kind of a fad that will come and go. So, definitely something to keep your eyes on. I know a lot of people watch that type of content, so we'll see what happens, I guess, is where I'm getting at. Brickley wrote this like he wrote a letter to a politician. I believe I'm supposed to be the politician in this case. He says, do you think it's pathetic that LEGO holds the Guinness World Record for the biggest LEGO Star Wars army? Will you help us beat this and shove it in LEGO's face? You are preaching to the choir. I don't know if pathetic is the right word. Also, Guinness World Records are a scam. But like LEGO holding its own record for having the most LEGO, yeah, I agree. That's kind of dumb, stupid, and dumb. And in saying that, I'm not allowed to call, well, when I was in LAN, I wasn't allowed to call LEGO dumb. Now I can. So yeah, LEGO, that is a dumb thing for LEGO to do or be able to do, or for Guinness to uphold for them. But, it's all kind of a marketing stunt anyway. I don't really care about it. I guess I wouldn't not be interested in adding some clone troopers to some base plates to have more clone troopers on base plates than LEGO had clone troopers on base plates back in like 2008. That's something that I could definitely help with, I think. For me, it just kind of depends on who's involved. But it sounds like a fun idea, and even if I'm not involved, I hope it's successful for you, and I hope you have a fun time, because building the largest clone army is basically the dream, right? Take says, has building LEGO sets become any less or more enjoyable now that it's a full-time job for you? I would almost say more, because I don't build all of the sets that I get at this point. I do like hire my brother or someone else to build sets from time to time. And so like the big Black Panther bust, I didn't have to build that myself. And like the Death Star that you saw me smash that took like 3 days to build, I didn't build that. I didn't have 3 days to spend every waking hour to build that, so I paid someone else to do it. I think it's more enjoyable because I do get to choose the good ones to build myself and then pawn the bad ones off to someone else. Jesus Reigns says, if you're building Hoth in summer, won't it melt because of all the snow? Trayster asking the important questions here says, a lot of newer LEGO Star Wars sets have the thumb tabs to open the box. Do you like that style being used more? And what is the best way to open the box to keep the box mint? Thumb tabs are inferior to tape. Now, tape can wear more poorly over time, so there is like a pro and con to both. But as far as like opening the box and not having it look really bad, tape is way better because you can just cut the tape and like that is not like a visual disturbance to like the look of the box, versus the thumb tabs sometimes will just completely destroy the back of your box. And you can see that on my new Yoda Starfighter here. It looks atrocious versus when I open the old one, I'm just going to cut a couple tape seals. Now, if you have a thumb tab box, what I would usually do, I just didn't do this for the thumb tab boxes of the new summer sets because I was doing them all at once and I wanted to unbox them for videos, and I was just like, I need to work, need to get it done. But if you take a little extra time, you can run a knife and cut through the glue holding the box together, and then just with like a little bit of pressure, you can go ahead and open the box without having to break the thumb tab. So typically I do that because it just saves the box from looking awful, especially if I have to record anything else with the back of the box by accident, like if I mess something up and just want to get another shot of it. You know, having the thumb tabs broken looks atrocious versus, you know, I can reseal it pretty easily or make it look resealed, versus if I had used a knife, I can just make it look resealed essentially. So there's a few options, but a lot of people will just throw their boxes out anyway, so it doesn't matter to them. This is for the unrational folk like me. Lauren says, what TIE set do you think we need next? Personally, I think a TIE Defender would be cool. Dude, a TIE Defender with Thrawn from Rebels is the dream set right now, I guess, out of Star Wars Rebels that they never did. I don't know, maybe there's some other ones I'm not thinking of, but a new Thrawn figure is obviously needed. They'll probably just make one based on the Ahsoka show, but they could also make the Thrawn based off Rebels that they didn't make with a TIE Defender, which is a ship they haven't made since 2009 or 10? 10? 9? 10. Man, I'm losing my touch. 10. Final answer. Anyway, I do agree. We've gotten multiple modern TIE fighters since the last TIE Defender. We just got a TIE Interceptor and a TIE Bomber. They're not doing a TIE Crawler. I think the TIE Defender is kind of top of the list of potential next TIE model sets, unless there's a new like TIE design in the Ahsoka show, and then that'll trump whatever else is. John wants to know if the Gunship and Ghost are going to get revealed for the August wave, or will it probably be for the winter wave? They are coming out September 1st, so they are not the August wave, they're not the winter wave. They're still summer sets to me, but September 1st is the release date, and they should be revealed within this month. I would be really surprised if in the month of July we don't see the sets that come out on September 1st. Like, they could obviously wait longer and try to reveal them later, but LEGO has been pretty decent at revealing things like a month and a half out, so kind of like late July, like there's no reason to not expect a reveal for the Gunship and the Ghost, hopefully. Although maybe with specifically the Ghost being an Ahsoka show set, maybe that one, kind of like we saw with Mando Season 3 sets earlier this year, won't be revealed until the Ahsoka show comes out, which I think is like a few days before the set would come out, so that would be insane. But they did do it with Mando, so they could do it again with Ahsoka, so we'll see. Scopsy says, how would you feel if LEGO made a set based off Order 66 with the ARC-170 versus PLO KOON's Jedi Starfighter for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith? Oh boy, yeah, those are, people want PLO KOON, people want an ARC-170, obviously you get clone troopers in the set, and they would be pilot clone troopers, so they wouldn't have helmet holes and they wouldn't be bad. It'd be amazing. Yeah, this is a great set idea. I think we had a custom set by Brick Wizard 59 not too long ago that kind of encompassed this idea, and LEGO would never do it because it depicts the death of a Jedi, I guess, right? Like, I don't think they're too open to Order 66, which really sucks because it's one of the coolest things about Episode 3, I think, to a lot of us. Even watching it as an 8-9-year-old or whatever, it was the coolest thing. So that set in particular would be amazing. I think they could do it like they've done this like recent TIE Interceptor Fang Fighter, $100. I think that's a very reasonable price point to try for, maybe $110 for this kind of duo set. I think there's some really high potential for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. I still need to do a set ideas video for it. I have a ton of great ideas that could make some killer sets for the Revenge of the Sith anniversary, and those are definitely on the list, and it'd be really cool to get a movie version of Plo Koon. I think we've only had Clone Wars versions of him, so I wonder how different they would make the figure for the movie versus the Clone Wars as far as the outfit and design goes, and I think it's also been like 10 years since the last Plo Koon anyway, so it's due for a good update, and it should hopefully get better, not worse, you know? So, yeah, Plo Koon, ARC-170, ooh, boy, that'd be a hot set. Beauty Boy says, since we didn't get any Across the Spider-Verse sets, do you think we could get some characters from the movie sprinkled around some other random Spider-Man sets? I wouldn't say never as far as getting sets based on a movie after the movie came out. No Way Home came out like a year ago, and they just came out with a set based on like the end scene for the movie. So, you know, maybe next summer we get some Spider-Verse sets. Now, I did watch this movie. I actually got dragged along to see it, and I ended up loving it. It was very enjoyable. I knew nothing about it going into it. Kind of like my first experience with Deadpool. I just got asked if I wanted to go see Deadpool, and I was like, sure, I guess. I knew nothing about it, and the movie was hilarious, you know, Spider-Verse, and the art style was very unique, and there was a little bit of Lego thrown in there, which was kind of cool. So I did enjoy the movie, and I do, because of that, also, like you, hope that there's going to be some sets based on it. I think it'd be pretty lame for them to only sprinkle in some minifigs and like another spider tank or something stupid like that, you know, like those sets that they just make over and over again for themes like Spider-Man. So fingers crossed, maybe in January or next spring or summer or whatever, they'll make some dedicated sets for this movie. And even if they don't, I know there's supposed to be another movie. I don't know when, a year or two from now. I would be shocked after, like, I believe how popular this movie has been, that especially like with the Lego tie-in within the movie, it'd be silly of them not to go and make sets for the next movie. Or I think what they did with like the Spider-Man movie a couple years ago, I can't remember. They made sets based on like the movie before, but they tied it in with the movie that was coming out then or something. So they could totally just wait 2 years, make sets based on this movie, release them when the next movie comes out, as well as release sets for the next movie when the next movie comes out. I don't know. I don't know Spider-Man that well as far as the Lego theme goes. I don't follow it like one-to-one like I do with Star Wars, but there's some potential there for sets. I would not just bet on minifigs and random sets. I would bet on actual full-fledged sets within a year or two, at least by the time the next movie comes out. I would be very surprised if there was just nothing. Chris wants to know what has been the coolest thing a fan has given / sent to you. So I used to have a P.O. box, and people would send me all sorts of letters and fan art, and I have that all in like a binder somewhere, I think in my parents' house. But at Brickworld recently, I got a couple cool things that we can show off, kind of a little haul. Isaiah drew me as a 501st Trooper with sunglasses, and like, that's just pretty sick. So I think what I wanted to do was I wanted to like use one of these shelves, I don't know which one, and like basically make it a rotating like fan art shelf type of thing. So like, you know, I can't keep everything forever, but like whatever fits on one shelf, we kind of trade items in and out throughout the years. Would be kind of cool. Someone else gifted me some stuff for Hoth. I think I ended up trading him some minifigs from the Mega Store for this, though. I didn't let him just give it to me. This one, Mason and Anthony gave me a Hoth pack for my Hoth build. And then another group of kids gave me a sympathy card. They filmed all of this for their YouTube, so hopefully it's on YouTube. If it is, I'm gonna put the footage up here, and then you can check them out with the link in the description below. But they literally wrote me a card because I blocked them on Instagram asking to be unblocked. So I unblocked them. Except for poor JD Sing 4. I showed them my block list. It was like 150 people, and he was not on it. Like, we couldn't find him on the block list to unblock him. So poor JD Sing 4 didn't get unbanned, but Sensei South and Suntan 207, I think they got unbanned. So if you want to get unbanned from me on Instagram, this is the only way. You have to write a sympathy card. I'm kidding, but they were just nice guys, so I unbanned them. This was just, I mean, this is just hilarious. Like, this is gonna be like a forever staple on the shelf. It should be, at least, you know? That's so funny. Austin says he's collecting every clone trooper that LEGO has ever made. He wants to know if he should focus on buying the expensive figures or the cheap figures first. Any other advice you might have as well. So I would figure out how you want to display them first off. I think just figuring out if you want to just put them all on one base plate, or if you want to like make a fancy like wooden wall display that has a glass panel or whatever, that has like a label for each figure with the name and the year that it came out. Like, I would set all of that up first, and then you can have fun kind of filling in the blanks. And when you ask cheap or expensive figures first, I think the reason you ask this is because you're worried about like one costing you more if you do the other first, you know? And I think the way you should do it, because there's no way to know what the future price on anything is. A cheap figure could be expensive tomorrow, an expensive figure could be cheap tomorrow, and I think it's kind of all just kind of a wash there. You'll win some, you'll lose some as far as like what you wait to buy. But I think as far as having the most satisfying experience as like you're going through and getting all these clone troopers, I think buying the cheap ones first is the way to go. Do you know how unsatisfying it would be? Let's say there's 100 clone troopers that Lego's made. You've bought 99 of the clone troopers, and the last clone trooper you need to collect is this 332nd trooper from a battle pack that costs $4. Like, yay, I got the last one. I did it. Woo. Versus if your last minifigure is Phase 2 Captain Rex that costs $200, and you're like, the Holy Grail, it's finally mine, my white whale, whatever, you know, however you want to celebrate. And that also gives you way more time to search for a better deal on a figure like Captain Rex. Like, deals aren't guaranteed, but over time you have better odds at finding something if you're looking for that thing for a longer amount of time. So just looking on a kind of a daily basis for a deal for a figure like that could also be advantageous. So yeah, I would say save the expensive figures for last, just because it will be a lot more satisfying to you to like bring in an expensive figure as the final figure to add on, like a Wolf or Rex or a Commander Fox. You know, you could just have so much fun with those final figures. And if you make content online, I don't know if you do or not, but you could totally do like a TikTok style series of like the hunt for the final 10 clone troopers or something, where it's like this daily grind of like trying to find the last clone troopers you need. And because they are the rare ones, I think it makes it a little more high stakes for viewers. So if you make content online, that could totally be a reason to do the expensive ones last too, because you could do your whole journey as a YouTube series doing something like that. So whether that be TikTok like short style or long form, you could do either. But you know, anyway, good luck on your endeavor, and I hope I was able to help you. JB8 Play says, do you think LEGO will be making more than one battle pack each year, since this year we have gotten 2? Yeah, I think 2 might be the norm again. Finally, LEGO Star Wars getting back to it. Now, unfortunately, the battle packs aren't as great as they once were, but 2 battle packs a year will still be good for some people that want to buy 2 crappy battle packs a year. Hopefully they're better. Like when the Snow Trooper battle pack came out and it was $20, I defended that it was $20, and I said this is good. This battle pack is a good battle pack, and they executed it well. It's got good figures without cloth, but still good figures. And then the clone ones came out and they weren't as great. So yeah, hopefully they give just better battle packs in the coming years. I would totally be down for a Rebel Trooper battle pack with like Rebel Friend and just normal Rebel Troopers to go with Yavin. I think the most highly requested battle pack now, outside of like any type of clone battle pack, is a droid battle pack. And as much as I don't see the absolute necessity for a droid battle pack because of battle droid prevalence in other sets, getting a battle droid battle pack is what people want, and that's therefore what LEGO should probably make. So if those are the 2 battle packs next January, I'm very happy with that. And frankly, I maybe said this, I don't really want clone battle packs if that's the way clone troopers are going to look. It's just my opinion on it. Next question from Strange Lego Film says, where can I find cheap and good-looking Phase 2 clone troopers, specifically either regular ones or Coruscant guard troops, with Coruscant Gunship coming out later this year? I was looking to get more clones to go with it. So Coruscant guard troops don't really have a great answer for you, maybe soon on MandRshop.com. Shopify took MandRshop.com, by the way, down. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. I'm working on getting it back up with another site. Shopify basically said you can't sell Lego unless Lego lets you sell Lego, which doesn't make any sense, because you can sell Lego at a yard sale, you can sell Lego at a Lego convention, you can sell Lego on eBay, you can sell Lego to your brother, and Lego doesn't have to tell you can sell Lego in any of those cases. So I don't know why it's the case that you can only sell Lego through Shopify if Lego lets you sell Lego through Shopify. Dumb, stupid, and dumb. It's just the way it is, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, if you head on over to my Whatnot page, you may have seen these on the table last week. I have some great custom Phase 2 clone troopers. They look amazing. They use the GCC pad printed custom molded helmets that don't have the ugly quadruple hole drilled where in the wrong spot, and it just looks awful. GCC made them look way better. And then we have the official Lego head underneath, as well as UV printed torso and legs and a back. It's a fantastic clone trooper. I've put aside, I think, 50 or 60 for my own personal clone army, because I know if Lego releases these before they change their mind, I'm not going to want what LEGO releases anyway, so I've gone and done some custom ones that I think look pretty good. Anyway, they're on my Whatnot page, link in the description below. They're 2 for $25, so as far as customs go, relatively cheap. I tried to make them as like reasonably affordable for customs as I could. Last question from A. James says, I can't believe you didn't mention the Submersible set coming out in August. The LEGO City line has 2 deep sea exploration sets. One is a submersible, like a sub exploring a shipwreck of all things. Oh boy. That's crazy. I wonder if LEGO will delay or cancel these. I would not be surprised if, like, they have to have had a meeting about it, right? Like, if I won't review the Titanic because of this right now, like, I'll get a video on the Titanic eventually, but right now, at least I'm like, it feels wrong. You know LEGO as the company they are, and just kind of how companies can be at this point in time, I guess, like, has to be, like, extra cautious about something like this and has to be thinking about not releasing this. They'll probably release it. I don't think it's wrong of them to release it. I just wouldn't be surprised if they came together and they were like, yeah, we can't do that. That's very bad for us, bad brand image, whatever. They looked like cool sets, but now given the context of what happened, it you know, kind of changes the vibe a little bit maybe for some people. At the end of the day, LEGO City sets like that really are toys for kids, and I think it doesn't matter to kids at all. So it's just the adults on Twitter that would be upset that LEGO is doing something like that, and even then, I don't think the adults on Twitter will be upset that LEGO is doing that. So I think LEGO's in the clear here, but again, the point is they probably had a meeting about it, and that's funny to me. So leave a like if you guys enjoyed. If you have a question next week, leave in the comment section below, and thank you so much. Enjoy your 4th of July fireworks, and if you want clone troopers, they're on the Whatnot.